So as always, I'm using my earbuds, so if you want any music at home, you should turn on your own music. I am in a different space, and I'm doing the kitchen. So I have a little music in the background, which I think I'll turn down a little bit. Our practice today, I have a strap and a towel, so you can have one or the other or both. Sorry, just put my foot on the chair. I also have my pillow. We're going to start with some standing awakening of the body on this, the very first day of December. So here we are. I got a message from a few people that they'll be doing this later because they have some shopping to do. So all that said, bring your intentions and your awareness to your practice. We'll start standing and do some breathing, and then we'll get a little lubricated today, a lot with balance. So there'll be one where we're standing in tree pose, and then we'll do a little hip opener, kind of a standing pigeon pose, and then into holding the leg in front. This is where the strap may or may not be useful, either putting it under your foot or just holding under your leg as you stand on one foot. So that's the plan. We'll also be doing some upper body strengthening. And today, when we go through chaturanga, if you don't want to do push-ups, I'm going to propose rather than child's pose, you just stay in your plank position and then move to the downward dog. Those are our options. Glad you're here. So we come to Samasthiti, standing on our mat, but with a little bit wider stance, and perhaps even your toes slightly open. Give yourself a sense of being more grounded, and a wider stance will provide that. As usual, we address our Mula Bandhas, the action of Uddiyana, a lifting of the heart, a relaxing through the neck and the shoulders. Presently, I'm reaching my fingers to the earth as a variation we know of Tadasana. And I come to my breath with my eyes opened or lowered, and a little more challenging would be closing your eyes. So just come to be here at this moment with an attitude of gratitude for this time that you've allocated for yourself. So standing mindfully should not stress the back, the knees, the shoulders, the hips. With every exhale, kind of soften around the hard parts that you may be aware of. And if you have no hard parts, that's good. So a heaviness, a weightedness, a grounded sensation. And then you can flutter your eyes open so you can follow along with this gentle warm-up. As you inhale, the shoulders draw up toward your ears. On your exhale, they sink back down toward the earth. Following your own breath, the inhale raises the shoulders, and the exhale drops the shoulders. Mula Bandha, Mula Bandha, Mula Bandha. So you can almost feel like the air is being let out of the balloon, and then the balloon is just empty. So let's stay in that empty position and begin with your right shoulder moving forward, moving upward, moving backward, and dropping back down. So create a gentle circle, backward motion. Maybe you tie it to your breath. Then hold it down in reverse. So you're going to go back behind you, raise it up, draw it forward, drop it down. Back and up, forward and down. If there's pain there, you want to modify or not do. If you don't have pain, but there's popping or clicking like mine, it's probably okay. Let's move on to the left shoulder. Up and back, down and front. So as we mentioned last week when we were doing the eagle pose, Some muscles in the back that are supposed to hold your levators, your upper traps, down become weak, and so they may not hold down, and then you also may walk around with elevated shoulders. So this forward, up, back, and down motion should help alert your body to that. Okay, go the other direction. Up and front, down and back. So while I can toss out yoga names or explanations of how to do something, it's really up to you to take it intrinsically into yourself for your own practice. But I do want you to understand and know what and how your body is doing. Okay, so now my right arm is going to kind of make a little circle over my head and then followed by the left. This is a bent elbow. And you can feel that in this motion, there's a sense of rotation or turning. And I'm going to suggest that we go with that. So I'm going to go with the turn a little bit more each time. If this doesn't work for your back, then you just don't turn. Rotating just a little back. Couple more. Hold with your body center, and we're going to let the arms rise up, come together. You won't see my hands. And then press by bending the knees, the arms forward, and round the upper back. Going back up, being aware that if you have a wall behind you, like I do with that pretty artwork, grab the hands behind, lace, or just hold the hands, and then breathe in to open up. So releasing the arms, go up. Exhale into that rounded position. I bend the knees. I really tighten through my abdominal wall. Coming back up. Exhaling, binding the hands. And then that next breath in, drawing the hands up and off my back. And release. So let's continue with that. The lift is the inhale. Draw the hands together. Exhale and round forward, bending the knees, bowing the head. Lifting the arms on the inhale. Exhale, the hands come down, go behind the back, grab the hands. Next inhale, they draw up and back. Let's go one more time. How's it feeling? The inhale is to lift. The exhale is to round. Inhale is to lift. Exhale is to bind behind. And our last one, inhale. Let's hold this for a little bit. I'm fond of doing this, opening through the shoulders, through our hearts, helping to put ourselves more into balance. When I release the arms, I do notice a difference. Let's go ahead and turn those feet out a little bit more and gently bend from leg to leg. Doesn't have to be big. Be aware of how your knees are feeling. Hands are on your thighs. Ulabandha, action of Uddiyana, and of course your heart is already lifted. You're going to move down the sides of the body, and we'll just do the right arm. So hold the left knee bent, keep the body upright, bring that right arm up and take it over as you brace on the low arm into what would be like a side angle pose. Now, if you wanted to go a little further, you could move down a little further. So I have support for my lower arm. This allows me to open my chest so that I'm not blocking off my face. Top arm very straight. Release the top arm first. That makes it a little bit easier on your back to come back up and go on over to the other side. Reach out the arm, let it go up. See how it feels sometimes compared to the other side. It's a little different. Go where you feel that whole left side of your body completely opening. Breathe, support with your arm. Release the high hand, come back up. Both legs are going to be straight here. The left hand will lend that support on your thigh as that right arm again reaches up. This time you slide down the leg as the high arm goes up, taking more deeply into your hips. And we'll be doing the gate pose today because I don't think I mentioned that. This is where this will be helpful. Release the high arm, come back up. check your blood pressure. Same thing, sliding down as the arm comes up. Lots of support from the lower arm as the upper arm is nice and strong, opening your side. Kind of a standing gate pose. And breathe. Release the high arm. Coming back up. Now move those feet together. They may be stuck on the mat, but that's okay. Bring those together. And let's bring them all the way together today, rooting into the earth with toes and heels and binding the inner edges of the feet together. And squeezing your musculature, your thighs, your belly, lifting the chest. So you should feel a little unsteady. A narrow stance will create that for you. So let's go a little more deeply into our sides. As the right arm reaches toward the sky, now you won't see my hand, but it's reaching toward the sky, I take a breath in. And on the breath out, my left arm reaches down. Now I'm not leaning, but my arms are reaching on the inhale higher, and on the exhale lower, but I don't tip. We've done this before. Inhale up, exhale down. Standing, squeezing your legs. On your next exhalation, bring the high hand down to the earth. On your next inhalation, reach the low arm or the left arm up toward the sky. Follow the pattern. Exhale the right arm down. Inhale the left arm up. Maintain neutral spine. Sip your sipper. So if I actually saw you, I wouldn't see really any movement, but I'd get a sense that you might be getting a little taller. As you lift through the high hand and ground and pull down that shoulder on the low hand. This time, bring the low hand on the inhalation up. And maybe lift the face, lift the heart. If you're inclined to want to do a little back bend, you could, though not required. And release back to Tadasana. All right, let's go down to the legs. So the feet are together presently. Cross the right over the left. Now, as you cross them, this can vary from person to person. You may have your knees so that both of them are exposed, like mine, or you may cross a little bit further where you find one knee over the other. It won't matter, the knees are not going to bend, and you're going to get most of the stretch up the back leg. This is kind of like what the baseball players like to do, only they bounce, which I don't find to be so useful. So this is a little wobbly. Ground yourself first. Keep the heart lifted, hands upon the thighs for back support. Draw in through the belly as you begin to hinge forward. Maybe think of pushing your hips back. Get a little support out of the thighs with your hands. And then just lean over. Maybe both hands end up on one leg. Maybe they go below the knees. Until you feel the back leg, the leg that's crossed behind, saying good morning. And if you're a very fluid person, and you end up with your hands on the floor, okay. If your hands are on the floor, they should come back to your thighs. Squeeze those legs together. Lengthen your spine like going through the bookshelf pose. Watch the floor as you come up to adjust that blood pressure until you're up, and then uncross the feet. Same thing, other side. Feet were together. Now take the other leg and cross it. Find that comfortable position. Lift, hands on thighs, Uttanasana. We know forward folds to be called Uttanasana. So the hands side down, you're leading with the heart, not the head. At some point, the back leg will say good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. And you let yourself just go to where you go without judgment. This is early in our practice. Find your legs with your hands, lengthen your spine. With the support of the hands, rise, keep looking at the floor, keep looking at the floor. As you rise up, then you bring your eyes forward, a little less tippy. and uncross. Okay, down to our feet. So alternating the heel lifts, and let's also do an opposite arm. So the arms are going to kind of swing like this. So if it's the right heel up, it's the left arm forward, left heel up, right arm forward. Rolling into the pads of each one of your toes. Find your breath pattern. Try not to make it a severe shift of weight so that it's this and this, so that could be cool. If you don't want to wait for the shift, go ahead and do it simultaneously, and that will bring a little bit of more work into the transition of one leg onto the other. And last two. And now let's do a full body swing. So I'm going to turn to the side. You can see what will happen is the back of my fingers, as I bend the knees, brush the floor, or maybe intend to, and then bend the knees and look. And you can end up here, or you can end that little back extension. So if you can brush the floor, maybe use that as your impetus, inspiration. But if not, just kind of let the hands go back and up. Careful that your hips don't thrust forward when you come up. This should help with the blood pressure, but if you're finding this makes you a little dizzy, take a focus or a spot in front of you and keep your eyes on that space, and that should help if that's an issue. Okay, let's just do it a bunch of times. We begin. So I'm using my exhale on the down and the inhale on the up. Creating my chi. My shoulders should be available for reaching up to the sky. A couple more times. And make the next one your last one. So we'll meet at the top and we'll see how we're feeling, a little more energized. Let's get a little bit of our hips. Tap the right leg off to the side. Open your arms to the side, the ta-da, and then raise the right foot. So we'll be doing some standing on one foot, so now you can kind of practice. Make sure you're not leaning forward. That will pull you out of balance. Tadasana. Left foot side, arms up. Find all your internal strengths. Your bend is your breath. Lift the other leg. Chin up. And how did that go? A little hula. So that standing balance stuff is always a bit of work for our core because it's what's keeping us from falling over, so we can use our arms and legs to do other things. All right, let's go through a little bit of flow. We're going to step to the front of the mat, so I will be up here, and then I can work backwards. Anything in this flow that you want to skip or modify? Like I said, if you don't want to do push-ups today for whatever reason, or upper dog or baby cobra or cobra, then you could just stay in a plank. I might demonstrate that the first time, but suggest that you do something different. Find your breath, find your internal barometer. Let the arms lift on the breath in, touch the earth on the breath out. Lift the chest on the breath in, step into a plank on the breath out, and let's pause in that plank. Remembering that shoulders are over hands, the legs are active, the chin is lifted. Now you can stay here or rock forward and come down from toes or knees. Baby cobra, cobra up dog. Exhale down. Hips up from knees or toes. Let's just come back and do plank. If you're in the plank now, we're all planking. And downward dog with bent knees. Walk the feet forward. Bent knees. Focus on the hands and the arms rather than straightening the legs or walking with the legs. Press through the pads of each one of your fingers, drawing the elbows inward, taking the pressure off your shoulders and back with your knees being bent. Raise the heels, look to your hands, walk your feet, step your feet, or if you want, jump up to the front of the mat. As you drop the hips, lay the body on your thighs, put the hands around or on your calves, bow over, easy stretch for hamstrings, forward fold. Bend the knees, release, look forward, check your blood pressure. Rise when ready, join palms, hands at heart. We repeat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend the knees and touch the ground. Drop the hips, lift the chest, lengthen your spine. Walk back again into your plank or push-up position. Staying here or coming down from knees or from toes, I'm going to stay in plank. Inhale, baby cobra, cobra, up dog. Exhale, go back down. Toes under, hips up from the knees or toes. Everyone pushes up into plank where we're together. And then lift the hips, look back, 2 small steps forward, the walking dog. So gently bending one knee, easing into our Achilles tendons, remembering the alignment through our hands and the breath. Raising both heels, bending the knees, looking forward, walking, stepping, or jumping to your front part of the mat, bending the knees and binding, bowing and folding together, releasing and rising up, check blood pressure, palms join, and hands at heart. Going into some hip stretches. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the earth. Drop the hips, lift the chest. So this time leave your right foot in front and let your left foot step back hip distance and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So right knee should not overshoot the right ankle as you drop the hips and lift the chest. Push with the back heel, getting that nice openness. Chin up, gaze outward. There's not a whole lot of weight on your hands. I know sometimes it can be, but put the work into the legs. As you lift the hips, push off the front foot, move into a plank. Again, stay here or come down. Baby cobra, cobra, up dog. And back down. Toes under, hips up from knees or from toes. Exhale, press up. Everybody to a plank. Downward dog. Adjust the feet, but don't move. 2 breaths. Raise heels, bend knees, sit back, look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Drops hips, lift chest, bind behind, fold over, breath in, up, up, up. Hands together and down to the heart. And the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch the earth. Drop the hips, inhale, look forward. Stand on your left foot. Right foot now goes back, wiggling, sliding, however you can get that right foot back deep and long, holding left knee over ankle, pushing through the back heel. Not a whole lot of weight on your hands. Chin up and breathe. So I do feel heavy through my hips, so I'm getting the opening in my hips. Relax your neck and shoulders. On your breath in, raise the hips, move into a plank or push-up position. Staying here or coming down. Then going up, baby cobra, cobra, up dog. Coming back down. Hips up from knees or toes. Exhale into your plank where we all meet up. Push back down dog, adjust the feet, but hold the pose. 2 breaths. We're going to come to our knees for a moment, and if that's problematic for you, you can either take a towel or double up your mat if you need extra. I am on a hard floor here in this kitchen. So I'm on all fours. If your palms get fatigued, go to knuckles with thumbs forward. Retain the anchored shoulders. So we're going to come up like going to a down dog, but we're going to get one leg, doesn't matter which one, because we're going to alternate. One leg is going to push back into a three-legged dog. And remember, three-legged dog can either be the leg parallel or opened, and I'll demonstrate both. So as you inhale, you lift the knees. As you exhale, you push back, lift a foot. So I'm doing parallel where my back leg is straight, but the toe points toward the floor. Doesn't go that high. Return my foot down and return down to my knees and gaze outward. And then again, lift up my knees. This time as I push back, I do the other leg up. Parallel, you can open the hips. I'll do that next time. Foot comes down, knees soften, gaze extends, all fours. Once more in the first leg, knees up, push back, open the leg. So I'm going to open also my hip and make a little more conscious effort to drop my standing heel. Three-legged dog. Place the foot down, ease the knees to the mat, and look forward. And the other side, knees up, push back. Raise the other leg, I'm opening, but again, you can use that parallel. I'm working to drop the standing heel. Lots of action through the feet. Place that foot down. Come down to the knees, and I'll give you a moment in child's pose just to check in with yourself. Puppy dog is that option. Arms extended, hands behind head. So whichever is suitable for you. Moving into side arm balance. So we come to all fours. Now I'm going to be doing this on both sides without turning around. So my back will be to you for some of this. So take one leg and extend it back. Drop that heel down. That begins your body turning toward the long end of the mat. Whichever knee is on the mat, that's the hand that's going to stay. Whichever leg is back, that's the arm that's going to rise up. Now you can stay here with one knee down and one foot down and take your focus up so you can get that shoulder well placed, and then consider lifting the foot. Keep your shoulder over your hand, so this option or this option. Then I'm going to lower the leg, return the hand, flip the heel up, and set the knee down. Now I'm going to do the other side. That will put my back to you. So I put one foot back, the other one, drop the heel. That has me turning to the other side of the mat. So the leg behind is the arm that goes up. And you can leave the foot down or you can raise the foot up. And breathe. As we put the hands and feet back down and come back to all fours, I'll invite you back to child's pose with the intention of just resting those who have a wrist issue. Because we're going to move on to gate pose, and so that will have you kneeling. And if you know your knees need more padding, while we're in child's pose, now would be a good time to provide that padding. Okay, back to all fours, and we'll just follow along here. So take a foot back of your choosing, I'm going to go back to the first leg I used before. Drop the heel, and that caused me to turn toward the long end of my mat. Go again to that side arm balance variation. Option foot down or foot up. And breathe. Now, as I put that foot down, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to push off the floor with my hand and rise up. So I have this here. If you need extra padding, you're going to be on the knee for a bit. The extended leg, you have a choice for gate pose. Some people say the foot should go forward. Some say it turns out. I say do you. Whichever leg is extended, that hand goes down, but the palm is up. Whichever arm is the kneeling arm, that arm goes up. Remember early in our warm-up, I talked about us coming to the gate pose and opening our side, and well, here we are. Stiffen the elbow, laterally lean. Put a little more weight on your ankle and it'll take some of the pressure off your knee. And breathe. Reaching out to the side. So just a little extra bonus as I reach to touch outward, it makes my extended toe lift, and then I try and balance. So maybe I can, maybe I can't. Just be playful. Sometimes the hand will touch, sometimes the foot will touch, sometimes it won't touch at all. Let's go ahead, put the foot down. As you turn the hands down, be careful. Pivot on the ball of that foot and come back to the knees. Now I am going to turn around so you can see me, but you could just stay and do the other side. So as we did before, now with the other leg going back, toe, drop heel, open to that long end of your mat. Think up, ta-da. Option, leave the foot down or let it come up. These all tie together, don't they? So the foot comes down. I'm going to use that high hand to help pull me up off the floor to here. Toe in, toe out as you wish. Top of the hand down, make sure the knee feels best. And then laterally leaning into the gate pose. Stiff arm, lateral leaning, not to cover your face, and breathe. Releasing the arms, reaching out, being drawn off of that foot, and try and balance, ta-da-da, play, play, play. Keep breathing. As we bring the hands down, of course you'll want to breathe. Bring your knees down. How about a moment back in child's pose? Puppy dog. So we're going to stay on the mat just for a few moments before we get into that standing balance series that I mentioned. So we're going to be down here for a minute. You can sit on a pillow. We're going to use Bandha Konasana as our start point. Remember, the feet can be where you might need them best, close or far, but do sit up straight and the shoulders are down. Bring the hips forward, round the head down. So this is kind of like our child's pose, but with a little more attention to our hips. So you're either looking at your feet or you're feeling the body fall toward the feet. Tune into your breath. Mindful through your bandhas, roll your spine up ever so mindfully. Extend your right leg as we now do a little bit for the inner thigh. So you leave this foot tucked in. and the hands will go behind. So both of your hips need to remain on the ground. Because we're asymmetrical, sometimes this happens and we shift off. We're going to walk our hands forward. It may not take much. This is the area you want to feel, your adductor from knee to pelvis. So the spine is up, the hands can be behind, and you go forward and you say, okay, I'm good there. Or maybe you meet the hands in front and you go a little bit further. That hip's going to want to pull off, so you have to think of anchoring it. Walk the hands up. You're going to stay in this position. Now you have some options here. So attending to your back would mean holding your right arm to the back side of your right leg as your left arm laterally opens to the extended leg. Otherwise, tradition, pardon me, you know, I usually get grungy in the morning, and here I am getting grungy. The right arm can scoop under, reaching actively across your body as the high hand goes over. So you could be this. It doesn't give any support to your back, so it may be better for you to have that hand behind as we do a little more opening through our side. Now, some of you may end up down here grabbing the foot, but you want the arm over your head. So if you can do both, you could do both. I'm just not doing that today. Raise the high arm first, as we know that releases the tension on our side. And let's go to the other leg tucked in. And the other leg out. Anchor onto our pelvis. Focus on the inner thigh. I'm going to pull my leg back a little more. And then use the hands behind to lift up. I wouldn't be surprised that if there was someone that this was enough, that you could just stay here. Or use the hands to go a little further forward. Or if you need, take the hands outward. Sink that hip down on the extended leg. Find your breath. So we notice oftentimes that one side of the body is very different from the other because of the patterns and the habits that we have. And when we know that, we make more of an effort to open the tight side, to strengthen the weak side. That's the theory. Okay, walking yourself back up. Same options here. With that extended leg, same arm goes behind. Bent knee has the arm up and over you go. Or if you wanted to do the more traditional, reaching under and reaching over. And then there's those people that just grab the toe. They must have really long arms. Release your high arm first. You feel the grace in knees to come up. Let's bring both knees up and drop them from side to side. So the knees are up, you're leaning back on your hands. And just see how this feels. I usually do this one at various times during our practice. Sometimes earlier in the practice, it has a different feel. So just notice where there might be some residual tension or tightness. Okay, and then we're going to come to a standing position. Now you can either roll over onto the hands and knees. You can move your legs into a cross-legged position and stand up. You could put one foot in front and extend the arms forward. I don't know. See if you cannot use your hands as you move into standing position. So here's a towel. I also have a strap. I'll just grab the towel. And so our 3 positions of standing balance will be a challenge. Now you can always fudge and lean back on a wall. I will not lean back on this little piece of artwork. I will balance out here. So the first one is the simple tree pose. Remember, your options is to toe on floor, toe on ankle, or toe high in the inner thigh. The arms for all of us will be overhead. And you can either, if you have a strap, make sure it's maybe doubled up, always hold that buckle, and the arms go up, and you feel like you're pulling that towel or strap apart as you hold that. From there, you bring your arms down, cross the leg over the thigh, and then hinge forward with the hands resting on the thigh, bending the standing leg or standing pigeon pose. From there, you can either put the towel under your foot and extend the leg forward. And I'll show you if you didn't, if you came from here and you came from here and decided to go without a towel, you would then put your hand under your ankle and go forward to here. So you don't have to have a strap or a towel, but it could be handy. So get your thing, and we'll do this together in a playful way. Start in Tadasana, and again, if you have a strap, be sure to hold the buckle in your hand, and you want this is a good length of distance between your hands. Let's stand on your right foot, bend the left knee in position for tree pose, toe down, ankle or foot high in your thigh. Once you've established that nice tall lifted position, put some tension on your strap or towel and raise the arms overhead. And breathe. As the hands come down, that right leg will come up and cross over your ankle. Hands can hold on to your thigh. Chest comes forward, hips go back, standing knee bends until you feel a little bit through your hip. And if you were to step out of it, because that could happen, you just come back and get here again. From here, either hold onto your ankle or your calf, or put the strap or towel into your foot and stand up. From here, bend the knee, let go of one end, and come back to Tadasana. Breathe. Breathe. Shall we try the other side? All right, get your foundation, bandhas and breath, sense of calm. I get it. I almost fall over, and I may fall over this time, but it's learning to find that balance, use your bandhas, and get back on course, and then just stay in the pose. So mountain to tree. Use the option. Inner thigh, ankle. I'm just going to show this option. And you breathe. Moving in to the standing pigeon pose. The ankle comes up on the thigh. The hips go back. Take your time. Bandhas, bandhas. Standing knee bending. From here, hand or towel or strap under the foot or under the leg, making your way back to that standing, extending your leg in front. Breathe. And slowly release. Tadasana. Now, whether you stepped out of it or not doesn't matter. The fact that you gave yourself a challenge with the balances is what matters. So we're going to come down on the mat and work through our core and then do a little bit for our backside. So again, try not to use your hands as you make your way down onto the mat and onto your back. If you needed something under the head, The indication for that would be you find that you're looking back and not out. So if you can nod your chin and look out, that's fine. If not, or maybe you just like something under your head, you can put something under your head. I don't really need it, but I'll leave it there. So I'm going to be on my back and I'm going to feel like I'm moving into a bridge pose. This will be a walking bridge pose. We've done this of late. So it feels nice to be here, taking that ha. And so now I want to address my mula bandha and engage my gluteal muscle. So I'm squeezing and I'm tightening my belly. And then I'm going to elevate my hips because I'm not really going to go for high here. I just want to go for steady and firm. Press with the palms, the elbows, and the upper arms into the mat. And then I'm just going to begin a low walk or march. So one heel will lift, the foot raises off, then the other one. So my feet are not coming off very much. They're just coming off the mat and going back down, about hip distance apart. As you do this, you may notice the listing or the shifting of your body from side to side. If you wanted to challenge yourself a little more, try not touching the mat with the arms at all, because the arms were probably giving a bit of an assist. So you can keep the arms down if you wish, or you can remove them. And as we do this very simple march, but a lot of work going on into your core, which stabilizes you so you don't tip over, you know. And about 4 more. Leave both feet on the mat, put the hands down, articulate the spine, so come from the upper back, down through the middle back, and release through the lower back. So you should have felt there was some work going on there. So hands are going to hold the head up. The weight of your head is the mantra. One leg will go out, and we're going to leave that one leg out as we lift the shoulder on the opposite side and pull it toward the hip, not the knee. So what the leg will do is this, and what the shoulder will do is this. Excuse me. So if we do them together, the exhalation is activating our obliques. Keep the elbow out of your vision. Heavy head. One more. As you come down, let that leg extend and draw the other knee in so you can do the other side. So while you don't want the elbow up in your face when you cross over, you also don't want it lagging behind. So let it always be in that neutral position with relaxed shoulders. So the knee does this, and the shoulder does this. Whoops, I got it in my vision. There we go. So let's do that together. We begin. So doing the yoga core work is different than fitness core work. It's really about the experience, less about repetitions, about the sensations, about the awareness. Couple more. Last one. And remove the hands from the head and bring the knees to the chest. So go ahead and cross the ankles. feel that your feet are the weights upon the hips. We've done this before recently, so the hands are here. They can help you to try and lift up the tailbone or the lower part of your spine. I know in an effort to do that, a lot of people kind of jerk or kick. It's just a drawing of your knees towards your chest, accentuated. So you're lifting up those hips slowly, so there is no momentum. If the hands weren't necessary, I always like to put my hands behind my head. That's just me. We are focusing on the lower end of the rectus abdominis. This is a more narrow or smaller end. The other end of the rectus abdominis attaches up under the rib cage. So it's much wider up there. It's what constitutes that traditional called six-pack. This can also be a nice back stretch because we're not jerking it, we're squeezing while the lower abdominals are contracting. The low back is stretching, so this could be useful for that purpose. Okay, let's put the head down, extend both the legs straight out. So this one you might find in a Pilates class. It's called the roll-up. The legs are squeezing together. The arms float up above the chest, but anchor those shoulders. And make the abdominal wall strong so that someone could sit on it, not pushing the back down, which changes the shape. Just harden the belly. Keep that position of the core and let the arms extend back, but not to the mat. This is your start and this is your finish. Squeeze the legs together and let's try together as you lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, reach and look at your toes, then continue the motion rolling up, reaching for your toes like you're laying over, or what they say, a big beach ball, rounding forward almost, Uttanasana. As the arms come up, they draw back behind you, reach out in front of you, scoop in through the belly, and roll yourself back down until those arms tighten the belly and hold the shoulders, end up where they began. But let's just say you couldn't get all the way up. That's okay. I have a workaround. So again, we all lift our head and neck and shoulders and reach to our toes. If you're stuck here, pick up one leg, hold behind it, use the pushing of that leg. As you hold on, it pulls you up. It helps to train those muscles rather than you kicking and using momentum. As you rise up, draw the elbows back, reach the arms forward, scoop in through the belly and articulate that spine as you roll yourself back down, tighten through the midsection, anchor through the shoulders, let the arms go back but not onto the mat. Let's just do a few more. Inhale, lift, reach, continue up or grab behind a leg, and then keep lifting up in that nice slow manner. Scoop in through the belly and reach long, drawing yourself back up until your elbows come up. Circle them around, reach forward, scoop in through the belly, and roll yourself right back down. Anchoring through the midsection, the shoulders, pausing with the arms. Here's our last one. Inhale, reach, lift, look. Exhale, continue, coming up, scooping, 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 reaching and laying outward, drawing yourself up, elbows draw back. We're going to stay up here and put the hands behind. Lifting the heart, just keep that open sense to kind of stretch out our abdominals. And we come to a seated position. And here you might want to use a blanket, a towel, or I have this big fluffy pillow. It's big and fluffy, but when I sit on it, it really compresses. So we're going to do a little bit for the neck. So necks can hold a lot of tension. We can sleep on them, we can jerk them, we can strain them. So we want all around this area to feel tended to. So as you sit properly, bandhas and breath. And we just begin by holding but leaning back at the knees or a little below the knees. So rather than sitting by myself using those muscles, which translate all the way up the back, and doing it this way, I want to have support and lean back. And now I've tethered or anchored the other end of the muscles, which I want to attend to. So that your ear drop to one side. As it drops to that one side, you feel that whole upper trap area of the opposing side. Your face is forward. Turn the head and look to the shoulder in which it's leaning. Look down over the shoulder toward the floor. As you begin to bow the head, looking to your belly, feeling that you're leaning back, really broadening through those upper back muscles, through the shoulder blades. And now use the hands to bring the spine up nice and tall, and ultimately the head on top. So I'm sitting nice and tall. And now I lean back until my elbows are straight and let my head fall the other way. Popping and cracking is okay. And now you feel that opposite side there. If you relax the jawline, it may assist, so you're not fighting against it. Leaning back. Find your breath. Slowly turn the head, look toward the floor, over your shoulder. As my chin moves down toward my chest, taking its time, and I suck in my belly, as I always tell it to do, never stays there, round the back. And then draw up nice and tall. Okay, so we're going to go onto our bellies, so you can remove your whatever you might have been sitting on. Thank you very much. So I had a discussion with someone who was concerned about, they had spinal fusion. And so of course you should always follow the guidance of your doctors, especially if they're the ones that did the surgery on your back. But that doesn't mean the muscles can't work. It just means you don't need to come up in a big back bend. And even being on the elbows in like a sphinx position can feel like it's a bit arched in the back. But we're going to be, if you want to just comfortably watch me a minute, we're going to be with our hands under our head, squeezing the legs together to add support to the spine, letting the elbows draw back and just lift my chest. Then I release the head back down and I'll relax everything, my buttocks, my inner thighs. So the motion is squeeze the legs to get that foundation, slide the hands back, and release back. So it's not really a lift, it's just enough so you can get your hands up from under your head. Shall we try it? Okay, everything is on the mat. Find your breath. Now go ahead, squeeze those legs, slide the elbows back, and release. Relax. As you exhale, squeeze the legs, slide the arms back, and return, and relax. Exhale, squeeze the legs, slide the arms back, and relax. And once more, squeeze the legs, draw the elbows back, and release. So we're going to stay, your head is down, so just listen. Right now, both of the tops of my feet are down, but I'm going to lift one leg up as much as I can. Not a bent knee, but a straight leg. For some people with prominent hip bones, it might be you want to put the hand under the hip, or take your mat and roll it in, or take a towel if you have one nearby. If you don't need it, that's okay. So you lift up that leg and you draw circles. Again, we have done this, so if you have your hand under, it's going to elevate the thigh a little bit as you put a little padding under your bones. Go the other way. This is an isometric contraction of your spinal muscles without any extension. Please breathe. Opening and closing the leg so it slides out to the side of the mat and then back toward the other leg. Not particularly hard, but we're very mindful. And relax the leg. So lift the other leg, you may or may not need padding, and begin drawing circles. Change the direction. And then slide it out and in. And relax. So if you were concerned about your back sincerely, you might want to roll to your side to come up. Otherwise, slide the hands back. And as we do in a good chaturanga, elevate the hips first so you're not putting that curve into the back, and push yourself up and counter pose in child's pose. If you thought you couldn't do that successfully or safely, you roll to your side, bring yourself up, and then position into your child's pose or puppy dog. So a little more for the shoulders. From the hands and knees position, you're going to let the arms stretch forward. Pull your right hand back, the palm is up, and your face is looking at your palm up. The hand is on the floor, the palm is looking at your face. Slide that right hand under your left shoulder. Come up onto the fingertips of the left shoulder and look under the left arm toward the ceiling. Hips are down on this one. And breathe deeply. Of course, if you can't be in a child's pose because of knee constriction, you can be elevated, that's fine. Slide the right hand back in and forward, and then pull that left hand in, and it's under your face. As that left hand slides under the right arm, pitch up onto the fingertips of the right arm. So we did a lot of side stretching work, so this should be really available. Focus more on your shoulders here, especially the bottom shoulder. Slide the hand back, come up onto all fours, and you have an option. Bridge pose, shoulder stand, or feet up the wall if you didn't have some nice artwork. So the option is the bridge pose, where you're in traditional and you elevate the hips. You can go a little higher this time. You can even put the hands under your back. I'll do the shoulder stand. You know, I have a certain order of operation. You could do it that way or just do it your way. Do take care about your neck. It's not advisable for people to do shoulder stands and bear weight onto their necks if they have neck issues or, have it or had it. So for those doing the bridge pose, that would be this, and then maybe tucking in and going a little higher. For those of us doing a shoulder stand, I start by knees to forehead. That would be my first step. then I know my knees are in a good position, my hips are in a good position. So I want to keep my hips up, let my legs go up over my feet rather than over my head. If you did the shoulder stand, you come out the way you went in, where the knees come back to your forehead, the hands move away, and you slowly, or as slowly as you can, roll yourself out. Once we're all down with our feet, coming down out of the bridge pose, let the bottom of the feet stay together and open the knees. Now, this could be not so great if you don't like how it feels on your back. You don't have to do this. The other option is to extend the arms over your head. Again, that's a variation that may or may not work for you. Some people absolutely love this position. Just feel the space that you've created. Slowly slide your legs away. Draw your left knee in with both arms, grabbing that knee and tugging it. Then as we move to a gentle twist, the right hand holds the left leg, the left arm stretches to your side where you look, and then carry the left leg across. Maybe you'll feel this in your hips, maybe in your back. It can be as deep or not as deep as you wish. A good time to breathe. Use the hand to bring that knee back up towards your chest. Bring the head and knee together to re-stretch the spine. And then as that head goes down, so goes the foot. And we do the other side, drawing the knee in, hugging it, creating that space. Opposite arm, opposite leg, other arm to the side. Look, carry the leg over. Wherever it goes is okay. Some people like it to touch the floor. Some people don't need to go that far. It's a good time to breathe. And you return back center with the help of that hand. And again, head and knee come together. Now you can roll to your side to prepare for Shavasana, or just step back and lay down for Shavasana. Or if you needed a little help with that leg to get you up, and then you could put your socks on or prepare yourself to do Shavasana. So this is the time where we move into doing nothing. And doing nothing is exactly what it says. It means we don't think about things necessarily. We just occupy space. So in this transition, we come to lay on Mother Earth for a moment of calm, of release, of letting go, and to do nothing. And so you can just focus on your breath. You can feel the weight of your body. You can visit a place in nature. Let this occupy your mind rather than the dutiful life tasks. There is no judgment in Shavasana. There is no reflection. There is no anticipation. There just is. Wait for the singing bell. Allow this time to be yours. And so with the singing bell, your invitation to come on back, deepening the breath, wiggling the fingers, and attuning to the thoughts from Dame Edith Sitwell. Winter is the time for comfort, for good food and warmth, for the touch of a friend's hand, and for the talk beside a fire. It is the time for home. We may think of winter as a time of coldness, grayness, and darkness, even if we live in a temperate climate. However, there's another way to look at this often maligned season. It's a time when we gather together to erase our own light, to create our own light and warmth, a time of holidays and special occasions. Many of our best memories are of cozy winter evenings spent with family and friends. And so our thought, I will enjoy winter getting together with those I love and smiling at their bright faces. Nice thought indeed, and hopefully you experience some of that over the Thanksgiving holiday. Bring yourself to a seated position, sitting mindfully, stretched, breathed, balanced, stronger, all these things that yoga can bring to us on any given practice. And so then our next breath opens the arms, lifts, draws together, and with our hands at our heart, we share the word that means the goodness in me honors the goodness in you. And so, Namaste. I wish you a lovely rest of your day.